All right, guys, welcome back. Or in the case of Breaky, wow, we didn't see
totally
you
ready.
there. Yeah, totally ready. Totally ready. And yeah, so we have another game for you here in the V versus
Just
Gambit.
don't make it awkward. Just
Come join us.
on,
Come hither.
Gibbs. Oh,
Come hither,
good.
darling.
How you doing? All right, we got game 2.
Game 2, what do we think we're going to see this time? You know, you were saying you were hoping that Gambit would give them a little bit more of a run for their money.
Yeah.
Kip says that she also believes that this could be a possibility too, you know, make it a little bit closer.
Oh yeah, I think it should have been from the start, honestly. I've seen these teams go head-to-head before, and they have a lot of the same kind of qualities. You have FNG on one hand versus Seneko on the other, both who are very respected CIS captains, right? They have a selection of very powerful core players with a mix of experience and new players. So honestly, I was hoping to see a little bit more out of that last game, and it just didn't quite happen. And I think as Breaky was he kept coming back to it. Also really dependent on the draft. There's just not much of a fist that Gambit can make with a draft like that. So I'd like to see him draft a little bit more proactively. Like Na'Vi gets that Luna on the board very early, and they say, all right, this is what we got. Come at us. So can Gambit do the same and say, all right, this is what we're confident with. This is what we're good with. Let's go. Come at us.
Yeah, no, for those of you that didn't see the game before, what they're referring to is the fact that they picked up a Doom over on the side of Naveen's Blizzy special, and then we saw that they picked up a Weaver directly into it, and unfortunately it was not working out for them. They probably thought maybe they're feeling really confident, like, oh, it's fine, we'll be on time. Blizzy definitely, every time he found that Weaver, he found a way to pop that Lincolns and get right in there, doom him up, and then it was curtains for him.
On the other side of that, looking at Na'Vi, and I know it's a popular meme, but Na'Vi's been back this year. They finally. Okay.
Where are you going with this, Breaky?
I'm about to say something that might piss some people off, but it's worth saying. I think, Dendi, he had his great stint with Na'Vi, and obviously very respectable what he did, and amazing player, amazing guy. But I was personally glad for the organization of Na'Vi to see him move on, because it was clear that things needed to ultimately change. And the whole Dendi days needed to kind of start fresh. They finally did that going into this season, and we're seeing a couple of new players mixed with some veterans now on this squad specifically, and they have stepped it up quite a bit, and they are one game away from qualifying for the DreamLeague Major.
That's the dream too, so definitely lots to consider here. Different roster, different players, but we're into a draft.
Yeah, we are. Don't pick Weaver.
I mean, you could pick Weaver, but maybe not directly into Doom.
Just in general, the hero's just not that guy. I don't know. Yeah. But I just personally would rather not see it all together.
All right.
They clearly like it, though, because, again, they snap-picked it. They had an idea in mind. Dahak's comfortable with it, I'm sure. So maybe they will go back to it. But, yeah, as long as it's not into a Doom, I suppose. But Shadow Fiend, Visage, once again, banned. Again, you talk about comfort picks for Na'Vi, or Gambit, excuse me. I'm not surprised on that side. Very core-heavy in general. We're seeing a lot of these bans usually focus more on support and off lanes. But this series specifically, I've noticed that at the first game, too. These are all essentially cores to an extent. I mean, tiny,
Once again, no Lich ban here is... Oh, Na'Vi is passing it up. So Gambit gets an Earth Spirit
wow, that's
Luna.
a quick draft. Yeah, Earth Spirit Luna immediately.
Okay. Well, I said I'd like to see Gambit do something like the Luna, but if they want to take the Luna itself, sure, let's go.
You got to get an Earth Spirit out there on the board.
Sven on the dire side.
It was also interesting, too, with Navi's lineup, right? We saw position for CK. That's not something we see too often. So, I mean, you talk about, a lot of these cores getting banned, but they also pick up some of these cores as support in a sense. Right?
I think if you're going to pick up a support CK, it's going to be some more of a niche pick, and I think with a Luna is one of those niche options.
It's really interesting the way that her aura now works, especially when you consider
Shadow
that.
Demon.
Okay.
Yes, Shadow Demon.
That is the Breaky hero right there.
Exciting.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, I don't think he gets to claim that alone, because I've also been very excited about that hero.
So you know how certain casters have certain heroes that are their favorites. Yours is Beastmaster. Breaky's is Shadow.
Right now, maybe Shadow Demon. I like seeing Chen as well. Chen's another one that I wouldn't mind seeing, but
I don't think you're going to see it yet, though.
They buffed Divine Favor this last. Yeah, we're probably.
They keep buffing them.
They buffed Hand of God finally. We were talking about that. Now it's equivalent to the Howl of Lycan, but no, they buffed that. They buffed Divine Favor. And if you use the recall appropriately, which I've seen a couple of seasons too, I mentioned it before, J-Storm comes to mind actually from the NA region. They did it in the major qualifiers before the China Major, right after 7.20. It was fun to watch, and they were very comfortable with it. But
the Shadow Demon, though, is very great. I mean, it's a deny pick as well, because, you know, Luna Shadow Demon is one of those ancient combos where you have the SD to protect her as well as beat that free Manta style. We saw it with combined up with Terrorblade for, who was it? I believe that was...
I'm blanking. It was a South American team, right? But
I don't think so. I think it was a team that took out...
Is it SEA?
No Pango, actually.
Oh.
Because wasn't it No Pango that picked Terrorblade 3 times in a row and didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first day that
was
Kevin.
It TNC? No, it was TNC.
Yeah.
Because we did SEA on the first day,
so
all the way through the night. It was the third region.
It's been a lot of coverage so
Anyway,
far.
the Shadow Demon did really well there as well.
Yeah.
Super powerful in the laning stage with the Shadow Poison spam now.
The mana cost. Yeah, you mentioned the counter pick, but also very good against Luna in her own, in its own, because of the same reason, right? Where if she happens to get great farm, you're like, okay, we'll use that for ourselves.
She's going to melt her own team with all the advancing laves.
So that's a strong second pick.
And I think the Darkseer pick over there also indicates that they might be looking for something with strong stat growth themselves, because they have someone who can replicate that now and create those free illusions in the Shadow Demon. So TB has been banned, but they could go for, I don't know, a Dusa or something? You can
No, they can't do Dusa. Dusa's out.
Dusa was the
one of the first
there,
ones.
Excuse me. Who's left then? Yeah,
Morphling is something that you could do with the Shadow Demon if you wanted. What else? I don't think we're really going to see a draw.
Oh, with the Shadow Demon specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I was waiting for Breaky to try to like bait you again. Like, what about Gyrocopter Io?
That's a good combo.
Not again.
I'm not falling for that again.
Support Rubik's pretty good. We've been over this. Support Rubik is pretty good. Gambit.
Unless you're Lenar. If you're Lenar, you can make it.
He supports this guy. Not here. Not here. Support Rubik. All right. Let's see if they listen.
The grandest of Megas.
Rubik's great against, you could argue both of these heroes too. Great spells to steal already. Warcry, actually you'll definitely take for yourself if you're Rubik, so.
Yeah. Shadow Poison. Great stuff, as well as, you know, if you get to steal the disruption, who cares that you don't have the Shadow Demon yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, I'm not too mad at that pickup, although I do think it leaves our lane a bit weak. Brewmaster.
That's going to create some nice chaos in those fights.
Brewmaster, huh?
So, Brewmaster's fan, this is a pretty insane offlane combination. There's, like... That Luna is either going to have to dodge that lane or they need to trail lane her. Yeah,
yeah. Rubik, that's definitely a weakness over Rubik as a support. Is he's not your strong.
But he does pretty well in tri lane. So I'd have to say that Luna Earth Spirit Rubik though doesn't seem like it has the most skill power.
It got some synergy, I suppose. You know, lift into a roll or vice versa set up. But yeah, it seems like right now, I think it's a good point. They either avoid it. An aggressive tri lane, something that we see Lunas do quite a bit too, could force a defensive tri lane out of the other team.
Well, does this become the issue? You know, we saw that they had a Luna in game number 1, right, over on Navi, and she kind of had some trouble during laning, but they just made sure, like, Seneko was stacking everything and everything. Yeah. So, I mean, they do have that option, right? If the lane's not going super well, just make sure that you make stacks, and then be aware, though, you know, and Navi will be aware because they had the same issue, right, with their game number 1 with the Luna, you know, not having a great lane. So, you know, start to hunt through the jungle, and they have a Sven.
Yep.
A Sven that can go through and help clear out the stacks, too. So, I mean...
Sven's on the other team.
No, I mean if they're stacking for Luna, because they assume you know Seneko was stacking for Luna in game number 1.
You don't usually skill the cleave on support Sven though.
That's true.
Not early on, yeah.
But depending on when you are in the game, or if you,
he can transition into a little bit of a core later on, because of the greater cleave there. But
well, is it worth it in the sense that you know if there are a lot of stacks going on, you know, just to get that early event, you know, sort of deal? I don't know.
I think that you'd pick up a core who can do that anyway. Okay. Like I'm still waiting on what they're pairing with that Shadow Demon, because I think Shadow Demon's strong, but I'd be surprised if they didn't actually also use the synergy that hero naturally has. It's much like a Grimstroke. You know, you'd better also pick a single target support up with that, because sure, it's strong at 40 minutes once you pick up your day guns and your sheep sticks, or it could be strong at 10 minutes when both of your supports have level 6.
We'll leave it like that for now, but we could actually see that swap around.
He looks like he's visiting his brother Roshan or his cousin, right? Because they're both
distant.
I love this Underlord pick for a couple of reasons. One, it's another strength core again in the Luna synergy there with the Aura. But two, Gambit, I go back to my history of watching them, what it seems like they like to do, they play around this team fight objective strategy. And they have a Luna already. The idea of grouping up and pushing. Underlord's fantastic for that with the Atrophy Aura himself and his whole skill set in general. And of course the Dark Rift to get away when need be. So I think that's a fantastic pick there.
Yes, we also might be swapping these two lanes around entirely because Underlord is one of those heroes that's very good in a solo safe lane situation.
Yeah, no, that's what I was getting at. We could swap this around, definitely, depending on maybe the final pick here.
Yeah, they go for the Razor again, so I'm guessing that'll be magical on the Razor, yeah?
Yeah.
Mid-Razor.
Did that last time. And it's just
a super speedy hero now, too, especially with the way that drums have been redone.
Prevents an OD as well, likely. Again, you could still go OD, but as we saw in the last game, it's not a matchup that he likes.
Well, don't you want to grab something that's going to make a little bit more space for the Luna, especially if she's struggling in the lane?
Yeah, and well, yeah, so going to that point, I don't think they would have picked OD anyways. I think I've been sitting here trying to think about strength cores that actually would conk up one of them. They haven't abandoned themselves. Huskar came to mind, although he's not really good now, especially against a Razor and Shadow Demon.
What about a DK to help take towers?
DK was the other one there, yeah. I think DK is actually on top of the list now.
Yeah.
I would enjoy a DK pick here for Gambit for sure. But they're going to have the last pick, so they get to actually choose what they want to match up against. Yeah, and the Razor is also very good against the Underlord, by the way. There's no way Underlord has to break that link. He's going to get all his damage. Oh, yeah. So they could even put this Razor on a side lane still. You know, if they do the thing again where if you have first pick, you take the two cores that can both go either mid or side lane. And this Underlord is going to have to avoid wherever the Razor goes for sure. So I'm not like 100% set on the Razor being mid.
What about like a Timbersaw right now for Gambit as well? A similar idea there. Doesn't really care as much about the Razor in that matchup.
I don't like it, and I'm not 100% sure why I don't like it, but...
Well, it's a little bit more of an individual hero where DK is more about the team and objective base, so I guess that's part of it.
So much pressure on the Luna to be the only tower hitter, though. Like, the only real physical...
Yeah, and they don't have any real saves for her. Like, they can disable people from going on her, but especially if they're, for example, there's Shadow Poison stacking up on her, or if the Brewmaster pops his ult, there's no way for her to actually survive all the damage being thrown at her.
I mean, with the mid pickup anyways, you're most likely not going to be able to save her anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd want someone else to frontline.
Yeah, exactly, right. Because, I mean, Underlord can get in there, but their initiation's not great, right? You've got the Earth Spirit who can kind of roll on in, maybe get a blink. Maybe Rubik gets a blink eventually, but you do kind of want someone that can kind of just get in the thick of everything, especially when you consider what they're throwing over here.
It's taking a while for these final bans. Looks like the timers stop. Are they paused or something?
I don't know. I think my earpiece just died, though, so...
Oh.
That's cool.
There we go.
Nothing important going on here.
Well, yeah, because they've been sitting on the sixth ban for, seems like more than a minute now, at least.
Yeah, and I don't see the timers going down either,
yeah.
So... The pausing during the draft is very uncommon, though. You'd think,
yeah, obviously you wouldn't expect that, but...
It shouldn't even be allowed.
I don't think it should be allowed either.
True.
But maybe there's
let's just hope our screen is broken over here and they're just thinking for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Or maybe all 10 players disconnected and we can't hear about it.
I can't tell because my
maybe they're just gone.
So, you know. It's fine. This is our show now. We're going to... Actually, I know the rest of the crew is actually still here. They're playing some Dota in the other room. We'll just go to their game, right?
Well, they started their game when we started the first cast in the first game. And we get done. They're almost 60 minutes in. And they're like, we just want to play one game.
We were just wanting to play a fun, all random game. What's happening?
Yeah. It's always when it's one more game, it's going to take 1.5
hours.
Right.
Those are the long ones. That's the techies game, and crap goes off. Yeah, I'm actually glancing over right now on in game. It looks like there's a
internet drop.
Internet drop for the players? Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, now we know. We use the old-fashioned way of the actual person coming to talk to us.
Yes.
But
what's that?
So far, looking at this draft, how are you guys feeling? Because right now I'm liking Navi's draft. I like the fact that they've got some very tanky people. They've got a lot of good disables. Obviously, we're still trying to figure out what the last pick is.
I like it right now for Gambit a lot more than the last.
Oh yes, for
That's
But
more
last time they also had last pick, and they they completely
Don't
Up
jinx
until the
them.
last pick, I suppose I was okay with the
Don't
lineup
jinx
too.
them, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big Luna fan too, but I just get concerned with what they have on the board just isn't as strong as what Na'Vi has. Thoughts? Comments?
I think it's just a pretty obvious, again, final pick. The DK being one of those options. So as long as they keep it, somewhat safe there and play their game plan, their style of we want to group up, take objectives, push as a team, then they'll be fine. Nothing on Navi's side is necessarily, for me at least, other than maybe the Shadow Demon presence and him taking over Lunar for himself, as we mentioned with the disruption. That could be an issue, but I mean, looking at these drafts, personally, I do favor Gambit.
You're liking their draft better?
What they're running right now. I think the laning phase and just all throughout the game, it's a bit better of a pace for them.
Okay. All right, Kips.
I'm still thinking about what this Shadow Demon is going to pair up with, because there's no way there's not going to be a pick here that it actually does well with.
There's still a jug in the pool, right? There is a jug that's not typically what we think of with the Shadow Demon, but draft's moving now.
We are
right.
got the thumbs up.
Seems good.
Nice. Let's take this out of the realm of speculation and into actual picks here.
Hey, we're just trying
let's
to
just
fill,
pause
okay?
the game again.
Okay.
We want to sit here and
We're
speculate
theory
some more.
crafting. What's the
The players will understand.
No, they won't.
No, they won't.
No, they won't.
No, they won't.
There is a major on the line here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Navi
This is
can
a
just seal
big
the deal.
match.
That's a pretty big deal, actually, yeah. It's $1 million prize pool and a lot of other things.
Juggernaut ban. All right, so there's indeed the other edgy carry that we see the most banned out.
They could go different. They could go like a Pugna in the mid lane, another hero that doesn't necessarily care too much about Razor. Flying.
So much magic, though. Like, you just get BKBs and laugh.
But it goes along with the theme of sieging. And if they get BKBs, I mean, Luna herself is still going to be ripping in physical damage mid to late game. So I don't know if that's an overwhelming concern, but
Got to get there, though.
DK is a better balance. I mean, again, I'm still trying to theory craft on more options, but I still go back to the DK. In fact, I would not be surprised to see it banned by Na'Vi. But yeah, how about Navi's final pick? We've been mentioning somebody about Gambit. Na'Vi has the
It's
first
just who's going to
final
pair up with the
picks.
Shadow Demon?
And
Meepo.
again.
Okay.
They did the last game.
Ban.
Interesting.
No, you don't want to get Meepo'd?
Yeah, I guess they
Meep
must have been running Meepo recently. Again, we didn't cast much of the CIS region these last couple of days, but that has to be more of a, they've been doing this. Na'Vi, safe lane.
Safe lane slash
Like a
mid.
troll is still there.
Troll could do very
Let's just get
easily.
super. Oh, okay. I was about to say
Lifestealer.
that's not typically something that you pair with Shadow Team. Oh, baby.
Got a quad.
Okay.
You like this hero, Kips?
That's an Afonin special as well. Like, that man is
All right, let's get him up on the board.
very good at Queen of Pain, and we haven't seen that in a long ass time.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about the other day. It's actually one of Leo's styles heroes that he usually did very, very well with before she became garbage tier. And you said in certain situations that Quap actually works. Is this one of the situations that you think this is going to really shine, Kips?
She's going to easily break the tether on that Razor, so should have no problem in the lane. Like,
Okay.
he's going to do okay still, because Quap is still not the lane dominator that she used to be. But yeah, I think both are going to get farm, and she's going to do just fine on her own. Very good against any gags as well. Let's put it like this. I'd like to see Gambit take this Queen of Pain and run with it and get to a game 3.
All right, well, we will definitely find out. So are we thinking Gambit this time then, my friends?
I want to be. But I'm sitting here thinking about the Quap and all the points you're making there, but it's not as bad as a Weaver into the Doom last game by any means, but it's a Quap into a Lifestealer. And Lifestealer, with his rage, he's not going to be overall the most concerned about a Quap majority of the time. Where if they win something like a DK, at least he'd have that physical presence as well mixed in between. Quap later game can definitely be a physical threat, though, with that said. So the Quap wasn't necessarily what I was thinking of for Gambit. Still going to go Gambit. Still going
All right.
Gambit. With
All
all of
right.
that said, I'm going to go Gambit and think we have a game 3 in our hands.
Well, I'm going to go Na'Vi. I was liking that
Of course you
draft.
are.
Even. What does that mean? My goodness, that was such contempt. There's a lot of people in chat that are not going to appreciate that attitude, Mr.
A lot of people that
Brady.
don't appreciate your pick. There are a lot of Navi fans out there. So
And production's going to side with me. So
They
I
have
just
a
say
habit of
Navi?
doing that.
Navi?
I just said Navi.
Hello.
That's my southern accent coming out that I don't even have.
The Navi.
The Navi.
The Navi. No. Oh, God, I'm sure. I'm getting all the K-Konas in chat right now.
Of course,
but,
production wants Navi.
This is going to be fun. I don't have any audio because my batteries are out. But, all right.
I won't have audio out of that. I'll keep my earpiece.
All
out.
right.
Actually, you can use mine if you want there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will
It's up
come
to you.
and do this at some point. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look, what service. What service. Fabulous. Thank you.
All right, anything awkward here with who's playing what? Doesn't look like it. Kind of
Probably.
expected.
It looks like that's indeed a solo Underlord on the safe lane for now.
So they are going to aggressive trail lane from the looks of it? Yeah, they are. Okay. Good for them. Yeah, into a Lifestealer Shadow Demon. A Lifestealer in general, when it comes to laning, I suppose, is maybe not considered the strongest in a matchup there. So, yeah, they're going to even start swapping already.
All right, I have sound again.
Thank God.
And the Lifestealer,
We're good.
We're good, guys. Don't worry. Don't you
Nice.
worry.
Lifestealer does match up very nicely against that Underlord as well, so that's not a bad lane for him at all.
Oh, good. Yeah, so
Well, he's
that's
so
more
fast
of that.
now, too. And the Underlord is a big ol'
They're going to do this.
chonker.
We've seen some teams doing this where they kind of just chill middle lane, waiting to decide what they want to do. So nobody's at the bottom. Oh, no, they are going to be down there. Okay. So 2 for 2. And now Lifestealer's heading bottom, but something tells me Musical Lanes is going to be a little active here. Early
It is
stage.
a Razor against the quad mid though, and is that Shadow Demon sitting around there? I thought for a second that maybe he would want to go for a courier snipe, but he just got the vision out to make sure that Magical can see what this Quap is up to.
Question, if we get a
Answer.
disruption onto Quap and it's already tethered, it stays tethered, correct?
I assume,
Yes.
if it
'Cause
works
it's
the same way
like
as a
OD
President,
Astral,
then yeah, I
right?
assume so. Yeah.
Right, okay.
See why not.
And yeah, Saneko is going to try and snipe that courier.
Where's the courier? It's still at base, right? Yeah.
Yeah, hasn't
Gonna be waiting a while.
embarked yet. Oh, boring courier, boo!
Basic.
Boo!
Gonna be a pro team.
Get
have
out
a
of here, you
basic courier.
hipsters! There are
Too many
some
hipsters.
lovely, lovely couriers out there that people have worked very, very hard to show off. Like, for example, the new one that just came out. I want that. Oh my
Nyan
god.
Cat or
Yeah, the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year celebration courier. I want it. Blizzy is spending some time here in the woods.
they're not swapping, so they are gonna keep to this for now.
He is going to have a rough lane into the 3 heroes of Gambit, unless, well, Immersion is actually going away.
I was gonna say you're fine though if it's taking 3 heroes to do that, then okay, you know, you'd be fine with that sacrifice. But as you mentioned, her spirit's already rotating. In fact, he came middle, so yeah, they're actually running Shadow Demon middle right now. It's a 2v1. We're getting a little old school here itself.
What is
What
that?
are
What
you
a
going
new
to say,
player?
though?
What?
They did find the Queen of Pain's vision there, so that's going to be making things harder for...
Oh, there's the roll in over here. Magical, gonna take some of that harass. Doesn't seem too concerned. We'll turn around, just get a little extra damage for himself.
That was some awkward timing with the Quap blinking out and the Earth Spirit going in. A little bit of miscommunication, I think. And yeah, the Hack is going to be just fine on this top lane, making... Like, the Rubik's going to be here to make sure that nobody roams on them. And I think the Earth Spirit actually coming back top as well. They can still definitely kill if Blizzy comes forward too far. Queen of Pain? No problem, she's got the blink.
They're putting so much pressure on this Quap in the mid lane here. They're just trying to force more rotations, you think? Well,
Yeah, trying to make sure that Kate back. Lucid Beam.
oh yeah, it's looking like a dead panda.
To kind of go back to your question, I think it's more of where else the support's going to be, because they could just try lane bottom, but as Kip's mentioned, I mean, Lifesteal actually is fine with this match
Yeah,
itself. They don't really want to fight into the tri lane top, I suppose, as part of it. So have one support bottom, have one support mid instead is what they're. So it's more of that, I think, than
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, and this Quap will survive the lane now, but she won't win it. And that's a very important distinction. So he's just putting in his effort where it can basically make the most of a difference. 'Cause if your Razor gets behind, Razor gets extremely hard to play from behind. And there's a tri lane coming in for the other side.
Well, keep them on their toes, right? You know, we thought that they were gonna just try to stay top and Another roll in here. Immersion, unfortunately, not going to be able to land that. Magical just sidestepping very easily.
What build we're going to see on a Quap as well. Of course, a hero we don't see often, but you got your typical like a Yules, you have the Veil options, you have I wonder if is Kaya even going to potentially be a thing on this hero now?
Has she seen any changes recently in these patches too? Because like we just have not seen her. All right, Immersion doesn't quite land over there again. Just Magical going to be able to sap some of that damage off of him.
I remember her ultimate now pushes people back. That's the one change I remember.
That's
okay,
a big change we've been seeing quite a bit of, right?
She did get some minor damage changed there on her Shadow Poison. And Scream of Pain looks like, what is that?
I can't read.
Mana cost reduced. Yeah, it's so far away from us. So, yeah, some slight buffs there, and even the recent patch. Yules, of course, I think I mentioned that, but Ags is also an interesting option on the hero too if you want to really kind of keep the tempo going. That could be kind of game dependent, but we'll see.
No, I guess we can see the Ags come out.
So both teams' carries are doing well, but
Immersion, he finally finds that roll in. Can they finish off? Oh no, they'll be able to get the kill over onto the raids, but they'll get themselves a nice cleanup kill backwards here. Although it looks like Blizzy might be in for some trying to run himself out, trying to juke here, use that fog. They don't have the Loosen Beam. Blizzy's gonna be able to make it out. Oh man, if they had switched over to Night just a little bit earlier, obviously it wouldn't because, you know, it's set, but
come on, Dave.
If they'd been a little bit later on that.
Just cooperate, okay?
The Lunar Blessing might have helped having that extra night vision.
Yeah.
I was actually going to call attention to the fact that Blizzy only has 4 last hits.
That's rough. That's a hard knock life.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the lane's been really difficult for him, so I go back to it's just stay alive as much as you can, really, is what his game plan is.
He has been zoned out completely, whereas Afterlife on the other side has been getting plenty of last hits. He died once as well, but he's got roughly the same CS as the Quap and the Razor. And of course, both teams' safe laners doing very well here as well.
Snako attracting a little bit of attention. I think he's going to be all right, yeah. Just sidesteps over here, Immersion, giving off a couple hits, but just a minor skirmish.
It's still so weird to see. I mean, I know it's even been a while now, but seeing that boulder fly through, the rock fly through, and then see a slow coming out of it, not the stun anymore.
I know a lot of Earth Spirit players who were kind of disappointed with it because, yeah, the hero is objectively stronger now, but it's not as satisfying to land the kick anymore. Like, multiple people kick, you know, that was...
It's not as impressive, yeah.
Douche, 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 3 people stunned. No, that doesn't happen anymore.
We mentioned with the Lifestealer that we saw yesterday, the possibility of a Radiance even. I don't know if Radiance, this game screams Radiance. It's okay, he is building it though from the looks of it as
he's got
goes Afterlife.
Top lane, still trying to make some moves over here onto Blaze. They'll follow up with a nice Stormhammer though, slow down the Luna just a bit, but the pickup, toss back coming out here from the Rubik. They'll be able to...
Sven was just bailing, he's like, oh, I gave you the shield, you're still dead. I'm out of here.
I tried. It's the tuxedo mask meme, right? My job here is done, but you didn't do anything. He did a little something, he tried. Chris
wait, from Sailor Moon?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Haven't you seen that?
I don't know how I know that. Totally don't
Sorry,
know
we don't judge.
That.
We don't judge. You can be a weeb.
The wife watches the show,
okay?
It's
fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Join us.
I'm a man.
Join the club, Breaky.
I wish I had a wife I could blame those kinds of things on.
Oh, again, Blizzy gonna get thrown back. Just gonna try to put some damage over here onto Luna. They have the Warcry. They also got the Shadow Demon down here. They're gonna go throw out that Stormhammer. Roll coming through. There's gonna be disruption though coming back. That should be a very dead Dahak here. Although still just barely letting out this. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, they'll turn back around. Rubik now trying to just throw out a little bit of damage. Oh, and it's gonna get stunned up. And they're still thinking about maybe going for the stun. They've got some Shadow Poison to nope, just 2 to be able to sidestep here. I think Rubik's gonna be okay.
That was actually really cool. That's the thing with Soul Catcher, as strong as it is, when it wears off, they do get that health back. So it almost kicked in for Luna right there, and she actually would have lived, but I think it had to be like a second away or so.
She really lived surprisingly long there. Great stalling from the supports.
Another double damage room here for Magical. I think he got like 2 in game number 1 already.
Go back to the Radiance. You had mentioned, Kids, that's a good point with the Shadow Demon. If anything, that maybe is enough of a reason to push you for going to the Radiance. Now, my concern with the Radiance, as unusual when you go for that, is that are they going to be able to slow down Gambit's early aggressive pushes with him going for said item. I mean, his farm is fantastic right now, though. He already has 1,400 gold on his way to Relic, so I suppose he's not worried about that.
No, like, the problem is mostly going to be that Blizzy right now has next to nothing. Look at that. His net worth is below that of the Earth Spirit. He's got boots and a Quelling Blade. I don't think he's going to be very happy with his life, but at least he's slowly inching towards level 6. Hopefully, if Gambit goes for some kind of push, especially if Gambit goes a little bit too fast on that, he can get a defensive split off and then get some kills, get back on the board. But yeah, in CS, he's not really going to catch up. That's just never going to happen.
No, again, the lift, the
Both
drop,
supports.
the stone, the stun.
Sorry, Blizzy. It's a rough game. It's third death.
What
right
does
there.
he do now? Like, he can't keep doing this. He can't keep just showing up in lane and getting slaughtered and feeding this Luna, right? Well, in this case, it went to the Rubik, but...
Yeah, I mean, I suppose just jungle a little bit. You don't want to take away from the Razors. Seems to
But
be
he needs
jungling
that
now.
6, too. Like, he's so
Yeah, I think
close
that's the
to
biggest
it.
thing. Yeah, just do it again. Just try your best not to die.
Yeah.
He's going to sit in the trees near top tower now, and he knows that Gambit's going to push that one in. So there'll be some experience there. I'm not sure if he should show his face, though.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's not a good idea.
I know you want like your 6th last hit of the game, but man, I don't think you're getting it.
10-minute bounty runes. Seneko doing a good job bottom lane. Even finds an invis. I don't know if he's... Oh, they might try for Quap, but...
I don't think they have enough damage right now.
doesn't have Purge.
Doesn't really matter. You can see that he doesn't actually care about the invisible. He knows it's not going to do anything for him.
It's a takeaway.
I know, he got a free last hit with it.
There you go. Quap does go power treads now, so we're going to start getting an idea of what direction she's headed in. Her farm's doing okay. I mean, you compare it to Lifestealer, not so much, but no one's really doing that great to Lifestealer.
Lifestealer had
Thinking
top
about
CS for like the longest time.
Orchid
too.
before the Quap.
The Orchid?
Orchid? You think this gonna go full glass cannon?
Yeah, like there's a lot of defensive abilities on the enemy team that you really want to get rid of. As well as preventing the split from the Brewmaster. For me, that seems like a really natural fit. Seneko said, alright, that invis didn't do anything for me. I'm going to smoke now. Get some vision down.
A little bit of a revenge here, possibly in the top lane. Rubik trying to run himself out. He's got 2 very angry boys chasing him, though, and they will take him out.
So Blizzy finally catches a bit of a break there. And I think the vision that was placed by Seneko, what I was talking about before, is going to most likely mean that Navi wants to push in through the top lane.
Ooh, Seneko.
A lot of damage that just got picked up. Oh, that Sonic Wave cleans up to Seneko, gonna get taken out as well. All right, that is a big...
This is a 3 for nothing.
Yeah.
That's a great use of Sonic Wave for the first time that we've seen it, right?
And Navi kind of perfectly set themselves up for it. That's the...
Look at that damage.
There's so much damage from the Earth Spirit as well.
And a reminder, too, I mean, Sonic Wave is pure damage, so it doesn't even care about as far as magic, not only reduction, but of course immunity. That's why I mentioned the Rage earlier. That will be able to go through, of course. That was a big turn, though, and that jumps her up net worth a little bit more. Still behind her Luna teammate, which is kind of good news in a sense, as I'm sure she's blown away maybe Mask of Madness, but look at Crystallize, 3,500 gold. So yeah, he's going to have a Radiance in like 3 or 4 minutes here at the most.
Yes, and then like the fact that he's been able to get it this fast means that there's not really a gap in like the strength of Navi, which is really necessary because Magical is, even with all of the help from Seneko, is still far behind the Queen of Pain. And Afterlife also has been doing just fine. At least Blizzy's going to get another kill here.
He's trying to find whatever he can to try to catch
no,
up. They need to...
shoot.
Oh, no, in comes Seneko. He's going to be able to help secure this kill. It's going to go to Sven.
Ever since Sven come up here, man, his Brewmaster is finally finding some space. He's got his bodyguard.
God knows he could really use some space.
Yeah.
This has been a really rough game for Blizzy so far.
There's a Yule's option. Queen of Pain.
I guess that she is going to go for that defensive item first.
Not the worst idea. Also try to dodge some things with it as well, like the Stormhammer. If for whatever reason your blink's not actually up. Get yourself out of a bad situation.
Luna getting a Dragon Lance. I think a Hurricane Pike actually is really good this game, so I don't know if she's going to go for it right away, but at least getting the components of it first.
She's got the Yasha queued up here.
Oh, she changed it. Okay.
I mean, I do agree with the Hurricane Pike as well, just because especially with the Lifestealer and Razor, you really want to be able to keep your distance. So I hope that someone else is going to be building a 4-staff for it. I've talked before about the the 4-staff on quad from Cuckoo, but it is not the worst when it's this much of a value item and you are actually the person that can get it. I don't expect Aphrodite to do that at all, though. That's just not going to happen.
Oh, nicely
That
done,
was
hitting the creep.
Clever, but it still doesn't matter.
Well, it was very close, though. Did you see the delayed damage coming in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they get one more hit on top of her, she's actually dead. Very smart play by you there to stun the creeps instead of the quap.
A no-go, though, on the kill. Afterlife bottom lane. He's got his own Put of Defiance here. Going to go Pipe first this game. And looking at the Dire side, and especially with the Radiance, I suppose that kind of puts it over the edges. Yeah, Pipe's pretty good against what you're dealing with.
Also completely neutering the Shadow Demon, or a lot of it.
Yeah. The shot, oh, that's a split.
Well, that's the first split of the game. He's going to use it defensively just to get out because he's had enough of this nonsense in this lane. It's literally like wash, rinse, repeat that we keep saying. Yule's going to come out here. Just going to throw the Luna up out.
It doesn't affect Soul Catcher, does it? Because that's pure, and I think it
yeah, that's true.
goes through, so that doesn't matter, yeah. But everything else on him.
What have we here?
He's going to have a freaking... It's not even 16 minutes into the game, so...
They just left him alone. Like, you can't leave an Underlord against a Lifestealer and expect him to be fine. Like,
but the Underlord's doing fine. The Luna
but he can't challenge.
is catching up. No.
This is them saying, yeah, we know you're going to get that, but we're confident in that our push is just going to overwhelm it anyways. You know, will it work out? That's like, kind of the ultimate question. But
they got the Mask of Madness up too here. Disruption coming out over here onto the Underlord. They'll actually have a TP coming out from Immersion. Going to try to keep him alive, and he's going to try to Uber out. He's not going to be able to do it. And there's the Radiance picked up now for Crystallize as he chases after Immersion. Immersion trying to roll himself out, and he cannot go, though. There's going to be the chase, kicked back. They've got a little bit of Shadow Poison on. They need to put some more. Magnetize will get used, but it doesn't matter. Snako going to be able to get the kill.
Underlord was... you're never going to get that Dark Rift off. It's like a 6-second cast time at level 1. He pretty much casted it and died a second later, so a bit of a wasted cooldown, unfortunately, but obviously a great job by the Dire team, diving as they did. Razor's just farming elsewhere. He's trying to pick up a Yules himself in the near future, somewhat recovering after a little bit rougher of a laning stage.
Rubik covering here on the side for the Luna, who has pushed down to tier 1 and was getting close to laying into the top tier 2 for the Dire here. She's since safely backed off to her own jungle.
Cleaned up that Yasha now.
Going back into the Dragonlance now, so yeah, she really wants to be able to keep her distance from this Lifestealer. And this is, like, the Radiance is some form of farm amp for the Lifestealer as well, but he's going to have to stay on top of his game constantly in order to be able to keep this Luna from closing the gap, because she will.
How does this Lifestealer like run into these fights? Because usually, you know, you have some sort of hero that's got a blink or some sort of mobility, and obviously Blizzy has suffered quite a bit. I don't think we'll be seeing that anytime soon.
The Razor is actually decent as well.
He's quite swift.
Yeah, and he's Eye of the Storm, like he amps the damage of Lifestealer a lot. So.
That's true.
Oh, well,
Corridor?
Razor, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, you do not simply walk up into there.
Yeah, no, especially not without the vision. Although they could set this around, maybe get a kill on Immersion, but of course, not quite as great as, you know, taking out one of their cores. Although it looks like Rubik might also be taken down. He'll find a kill though over onto the Shadow Demon, and looks like thrown up into the air. But Lizzie gonna be able to be the cleanup crew. Finds himself a kill on FMG.
2 supports for a support and a core. Pretty good trade. They didn't really get any tower pressure out of it though. And here comes Chu with the Lifestealer invested.
At least he sees a big old dino.
Don't think Afterlife can survive this.
He does have Dark Rift again. He tried to cast... Oh, no, that was actually Firestorm, I think, but...
He's all...
not going to work.
It's too much damage, especially when they go and they pop the God Strength on top of that. Not making it out.
Yeah, so they're able to get a nice Infest Bomb without the blink, but he will have the blink now. Time another fight breaks out. Razor finds an opportunity, though. Nice block. Oh, actually, it wasn't a block there initially, but Gets the roll off. He's still in a bad spot himself now. It's Magical having to run out, but he has support. Crystallize coming in. Sonic Wave in the backlines. Looks like finish out. That was actually a Scream to take out Razor. Still has a Sonic Wave. Could perhaps come in on Crystallizes. Out comes the Eclipse as well. Warcry can absorb some damage, but not nearly enough. They take out the what seemed to be the unstoppable target in Lifestealer, and they want more. Sven also going to be found right here. Scream on top, and that's the poison applied. I don't think he's getting out either. It's going to be 3 kills in turn for Gambit. That's a 4,000 net worth lead just like that.
Beautiful kick from Immersion. Like, I think you could see everyone thinking like, oh, well, he can't kick the Lifestealer away because he's still enraged. But as it turns out, you can also kick the Luna away, and that's just enough for Dahak to pop the Eclipse, Rage wears off, and the turnaround is achieved. Very well done. And like, a little bit cocky from Na'Vi to go fight up into the high ground there. They got a beautiful stun off on the Rubik when he was trying to body block for the Luna, but you never know what's waiting for you on the other side when you lose vision. And in this case, it was an Eclipse, and they were too far in.
Should we see some BKBs be coming out for these boys on the V? Because I feel like...
you never want to build a...
Not on the Lifestealer necessarily.
No.
Oh, okay, we do have it over on the Razor, just because I feel like he's getting CC'd pretty hard.
Vlads is up on Blizzy, actually, so he is making some form of progress, and I think he's going to be going into the Blink Dagger next.
Not necessarily BKB on Lifesteal, but I do think a heavy strength base out, even something like a Heart down the lines, is a good way to help deal with all this incoming magic damage.
I think I saw a Manta style queued up, actually.
Okay.
Oh, down here. And
I have no fast way to follow up. They'll try to slow down a little bit with that Purge. They'll go out throughout the dispersion. There's a lot of other teammates here. I don't know if they want to go in on this. In fact, there's going to be Immersion joining the rest. We'll be able to land one of those stones. Saneko trying to run himself back. The jump forward, though, coming out from 2, will be able to get this Lifestealer in the thick of things, and they'll find themselves a kill.
You are right. The Manta style queued up there for Lifestealer.
I'm always mildly upset when I see a Radiance Manta Lifestealer, but that's because I actually had a Miracle murder one of my teams with that once.
Oh, yeah.
So
that
you're getting some PTSD is what you're saying, yeah?
Like that man builds like Naga Siren on everything. Like the old Naga build, Manta style Radiance, and he just takes over the map. It's very frustrating. And yeah, you can do that with Lifestealer as well, with the mischance. And the fact that, of course, Manta style is a very good defensive item when you don't want to go BKB. You still want to be able to dodge some spells, get some extra damage out there.
There is plenty to purge this game. Between that and Rage, he actually will have some nice mobility. It's going to be hard to stop him. And I think even had the AC queued up after that, so Sakira's going to be a nice amp tool for him and the Razor especially.
Yes, but he has fallen behind the Luna now.
Yeah. And that goes back to that, fighting in that bottom side right there where you got the Radiance and the Medallion, and understandably with the Blink, especially on Sven, they wanted to really start forcing some plays, but because of the backfire on top of that, yeah, he has now fallen behind Dahak. And going to farm away in the Ancients over here, his own Manta style. Seems to be planning to come out soon.
He's got the Hurricane Pike finished up, so he's going to be able to kite everything.
That's an Ags finish now for Quap. That's a big ticket item.
So there is the huge burst damage. We've only seen one ult from her yet, but she can throw it out to her heart.
All right, there's one Underlord nearby, but immediately running in the roll forward. There's going to be the him coming back out here. They've got the Magnetize up. They're still looking. They're trying not to run. They'll try to get themselves out. That's going to be the Scream. It looks like Navi's just going to walk back a little bit, maybe reset. They have already used that split, though. And now they've got their eyes over here on Alpha 9. Now they find that kill, though, onto 2. And the rest of the team here, Blizzy trying to run himself out. He's got 1 Panda left to his name, I think, at this time. He's going to try to get out, but nope, they're going to be able to lock him down. Takes a little bit, but eventually he will get taken down.
That was a very good retreat from Gambit. Jump from Na'Vi into the backlines, and they still managed to regroup, sort of pull themselves back up onto the high ground and then collapse back down again. Very good movement as a team.
Yeah, that rift also from Underlord. It's even though it was good that he canceled in the end, of course, but it was an interesting and intimidating factor for Na'Vi in the sense that they just figured, okay, yeah, we're going to fall back now because they're going to rift out anyways. But then, of course, they canceled. They caught some stragglers, so making use of it at least that way. But don't think they're going to be able to get Roshan. It's just still too much pressure, especially with Lifestealer sitting in some illusions. So unable to secure an objective out of that at least.
There's going to be so many Lifestealer illusions all over the map. Shadow Demons producing them. And there's the Manta style. And Chu going for the jump again. There's actually... No, Luna is not pushing another wave. Sure, she thought about it. But Dahak's playing very careful. He knows that he needs to stay alive in order to stay ahead of this lifestealer.
He's rallied his troops to him here, so we'll be able to have some of that protection. So we still have the lifestealer riding around inside of
Neko scouting, gets his illusions destroyed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Something that's interesting to me is that Gambit hasn't actually taken many towers yet. Neither team has really been pressuring the other's territory.
Good point.
Mostly been farming, skirmishing, and I guess this time it is definitely going to be Gambit that says, alright, 2 of our cores are big now, we're gonna go for this. And maybe they've also been a bit afraid, especially before there's a BKB on any of their heroes, to fight into Blizzy, because that's the one way you give that Brewmaster a good fight, as I said before. On a tower defense, go a bit too deep, he pops a split. Oh, and he's gone a Midas, so I was talking before, like, oh, well, he's never going to catch up. This is one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I picked that up a little while ago, so.
He's just about getting up there with Underlord even on the other side, so we saw decent of a start Underlord had. It's good news for Na'Vi. Speaking of Underlord, Mech finished now. Guardian Greaves soon to come for him as well.
Blizzy?
And no. Too fast.
They get themselves a rune.
Shadow Demon on a warding mission. Get some vision down to the Radiant Jungle. And speaking of the Radiant Jungle, Luna killing more creeps. I believe the Manta style is being delivered to Lifestealer right now, too. Doesn't have it yet, though. He's silenced up, but the slow is going to miss and allowed to easily walk away.
And he is so fast now. He's got that movement speed buff as well as getting a full Manta style now, so the Yasha's movement speed also helps him out there. No way you're catching up to that race car.
Good job by Afterlife right there. And yeah, you could tell that Gambit did a good job of picking up on that. They realized the Lifesteal, ran away, was missing, and whenever he's missing, and Sven specifically, you got to be worried that a jump's coming.
Well, if I'm Na'Vi here, I would still be trying to go for the mid tower once again. So they're moving in from the flank.
And they get... Oh, that's a big kill there. Nice jump coming out.
Yeah, with the Soul Catcher and the Infest Nuke on top of that, like, Queen of Pain did not stand a chance.
No, definitely.
She has buyback though. Are they looking to fight?
Merchant's gonna try to roll himself away. They do have vision here over onto the Rubik. We'll slow him down with the plasma field, but looks like they just want to go right into Roche now.
They're not going to get this up, though. The Quap buyback, I think, is very worth it if they can stop Roshan here.
Well, Magical, maybe just need to be a little bit careful here. We'll be able to go draw off that Pit of Malice. There's going to be the roll-in coming out from Morton on the other side, though. He needs to be careful because immediately Crystallize, he puts out the Rage. He's going to try to get, but this is looking really interesting, right? Because they have a total split. Blizzy is actually sitting solo. Actually gets taken down by the Rubik with the Plasma Field. Bit of a disaster there. Crystallize coming around the corner. BKB getting shown up by Magical. He just finished it up. They will be able to go get that kill. And it's going to be Lucent Team slowing down Crystallize. He's going to turn his attention now onto the Luna. She does have that Hurricane Pike, though. He's going to have to go and Rage, get himself out of that pit. Rest of the team, Chu, trying to run himself out. Just with the Warcry, there's the Tokenist throwing him right back again. Trying to find a way out here. And he's running right through these creeps, but they're just going to hunt him down and take him out.
Na'Vi got distracted. Like they let this fight near the pit keep him busy for so long that now they neither get the mid tower or the Roshan. And 2 kills have been made by Gambit on that turnaround as well. They only had to spend their Rubik buyback instead of the Queen of Pain. So yeah, it's Gambit going into the pit now, and they can do it just as fast.
I mean, that patience by Queen of Pain, too, not to buy back. I was expecting it most of that fight. I'm like, where is the buyback? This fight's just continuing on, but they did a hell of a job at kiting and forcing that distraction, and they don't want to get this up, though.
Yeah, there's going to be the split coming out from Blizzy as they go running in. They have to try to use that rip, but I don't think he's going to make it out. No, he is totally taken down. Now Merchant trying to roll himself away. Will get thrown right back up again. They've got that Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, but it doesn't do nearly enough.
I know where it bought back.
Up.
Gonna Firestorm keep them out at least, so Roshan's still plenty healthy. Well, maybe not so
Not
much,
really.
actually.
I mean, if they want to get in there, they better get in there fast. Magical using the plasma field. There's going to be the buyback coming out from Seneko. And again, there's a jump forward. They want to get into that pit. They want to cause some chaos immediately. Again, this Underlord can't get out. He's down. There's going to be the Eclipse coming through. They've got the BKB, though, over here on Magical. They're going to turn back around, have their eyes over here on F9. Can they get fast enough? He's just getting thrown up into the air. They need a little bit more damage. Do they have it? Oh, yeah, they do.
She needs to buy back.
Yeah,
she has
they
one.
do. Luna trying to run herself out. They've got a whole other fight. They're up onto the high ground. They're going to be able to find the kill on Emergent. Can they find the kill over onto the Hawk? It's looking pretty good. He's trying to force staff himself up, but they're so fast. Look at them go. They'll run him down. That's a triple kill.
I think that's a mistake not to buy back by Quap. They are several heroes are so low on life. She still has a Sonic Wave, and she just kind of Blizzy might end up dying on the tower. Okay, so he's the one that had the Aegis.
Still has the Aegis. All right.
And is going to come back up as a result, but
and all that, I couldn't keep track of who actually picked it up. I was like, oh no.
I heard the announcement going off in the background and look at the. Alright, I'm seeing so many dire heroes in the screen. I think, alright, so who got that Aegis?
Yeah.
Then I realized, oh snap, it's Blizzy. He just stayed behind and whacked Roshan a couple of times. He took his opportunity. And what a turnaround by Na'Vi there.
Yeah, that was very well played by them, and choosing to keep on defending as they can throw some pigs out even as well.
I would celebrate with some pig balloons too, right?
Yeah.
You know, that was a pretty good fight for them.
Yeah, they're on the verge of qualifying for the major. I mean, it's not going to be a win just yet, of course. They still have work to do.
They've got to feel good about that.
Absolutely.
Especially, like, you know, Gambit's really good about these fights where they split them up quite a bit, and they make a lot of just chaos. But in the end, it didn't work. They ended up being super focused. I mean, the kill on Quap was huge.
Well, I go back to again. Yeah, Queen of Pain. Even the first fight, I still, even though it kind of worked out for them, I do think if she bought back early on in that first fight, then that fight could have played out much differently, maybe even secured the Roshan that much more. But the second fight especially too, she was dead, and I think it was Underlord did get picked off right before her, but the other 3 kills took a good 10 to 15 seconds, where if she buys back immediately as they're chasing, either they retreat because of the buyback, or you take advantage of their low life and kill them anyways. And you know, I don't know for certain if that would have absolutely worked, but not buying back pretty much gave them absolutely no hope. It allowed Na'Vi to roll over them and ultimately get the racks as well. So the game is still on. It would have been maybe a bit of a risk. I think a risk willing to take, but they didn't, and now they're down 9,000 net worth with the racks dead.
This has been a very back and forth sort of game, right? Like, oh my god.
Jeez.
Well, no, not back and forth.
No,
this is the only back we've seen, I think. Gambit was building this up really nicely. And maybe they decided that a lifestealer with an Aegis was going to be too much for them, but not enough to buy back on a core. It's risky. If you do the buyback there, you put the game on that fight.
As I said, yeah, it is a risk, absolutely.
And right now, they still have this economy going on their Quap, on their Luna. Neither of whom have bought back, but they are behind the lifestealer again now by a rather large margin. And Blizzy, our Aegis stealer, has definitely overtaken Afterlife by now.
He's
a great
recovered. It is, yeah, for sure. The recovery on Blizzy has been really incredible. He's had some really nice splits. He's got, you know, his items that he needs, and then of course, you know, grabbing that Aegis at the last second. Cheeky. The other smoke though, they're not finding anyone. I guess maybe they're hoping they'll get the jump onto Magical, but
yeah, I think
no one really in the vicinity.
They saw Rubik over there and they're like, we want more. And so they were being patient to try to get somebody else, but no one else really showed up. They're gonna make their way to the top lane and just simply farm it out. We see who's that yellow? That's Earth Spirit hiding over there.
Hiding deeper.
Yeah. Might just keep the lanes pushed in.
No, thank you.
None of that.
And AC now. He's gonna build an MKB next on Lifestealer. So his damage output's gonna be pretty ridiculous. And going back to the Underlord, not only in the lane match does he like it, but throughout the whole game, because Underlord just naturally, you know, bigger strength hero, has a bigger life pool, and that's something else actually I didn't even think about with the Luna Aura though, with these strength heroes, building up that life pool that much more. Lifestealer likes that, you know, with the way his feast works. The more life they have, the more damage he essentially does to them. So it's almost kind of a counter in at least a little aspect there.
Seneko is looking to get the disruption off. We'll find them. They're actually going to go for the Dark Rift to get themselves out, but they have their own Luna illusions now, so they can help push out, do a little farming.
Clever play. They drew a lot of TPs to the bot lane, while meanwhile Quap is pushing in top. Now they can hopefully clear out the top jungle again as well, before any of the dire heroes can come back there. So, yeah, That's like a good economy play right there from Gambit. And you know, when you're behind like this, you gotta make the difference, not just in the big fights, but also in these small ways. Like, draw all of them to the bottom lane. You still have a tower there. You can't go high ground immediately off of any kills they get there. And you get to farm their jungle here with your 2 cores.
They both prioritize Lincolns. Luna finishes hers, and Quap was just about, in fact, she just got it right there. So I'm kind of sitting here thinking, to be fair, there's a lot. There is a lot that the Lincolns does prevent. But whenever there's a lot that it prevents, it's almost like, then is it worth it, right? Because something's going to take it off then anyways, and then something else that's still strong is going to go up. So I don't know if Lincoln's truly makes most sense. I assume disruptions are more so Purge is one of the biggest things, but even he has a way to take it off himself, so I don't know.
There's the Cyclone as well, the Brewmaster.
The Link.
The jump forward, they find themselves the Earth Spirit over here. Will be able to go throw down the Pit of Malice. He's trying to run himself out, but he's not going to be able to do it fast enough. He's going to get taken down. They use the split on Panda as well to help ensure this. And focusing down on the tower, trying to do some zoning using that plasma field. Crystallized, just kind of slowly climbing his way out. And they pop the Lincolns though over on the Quap, so are they going to go back in? What's the thought here? They thought the God Strength popped on Sven.
Oh, this is too low. You're not fighting them without your Brewmaster up to full strength. And the buyback status got brought up. There is no buyback on any of the Radiant heroes right now. They all bought out.
Toast. Oof. Well, they weren't using them anyways. I'm bitter, okay?
Whoops.
MKB for Luna. Talk about just, again, straight damage as well. Not something we actually see on her too often.
I love how we've got illusions of illusions.
Yeah, that's Shadow Demon. That's a Shadow Demon game for you. Which, yeah, we're seeing him abuse that quite a bit here.
Look at the army of illusions that we've got from the Manta style, from the...
you think it's fun. I'm just getting flashbacks.
Well, this is actually
okay, Kips.
kind of to my own point there as far as going to MKB. Not something we see a lot on Luna, but to be fair, usually like a butterfly is Earth Spirit.
Oh, the rollout. They're just in the middle of this base, though. It looks like Crystallized. He's just really just running out that Rubik here. Sonic Wave got to get used. We'll push them back a little bit.
With that low cooldown, she can use it pretty much every time she wants to clean up those waves. But like when it gets up to the high ground like this, you're still going to have to deal with. Oh
boy, yeah, they're going deep. They really want to get this kill on the Rubik. They'll find it. Turning themselves around.
I see what you're saying. It's only a 40-second cooldown, but honestly, when they're that close, I don't know if you can warrant using it there.
Snaggle? He's getting bullied over here. Trying to hide in the trees. Oh, he goes to the Link. He's going to be able to get her out.
No.
Oh man, if he had gotten that, if there wasn't a Lincolns. That would have been huge.
But yeah, going back to my point with Luna, if she builds more of the similar build that we see a lot of the time, the Butterfly, for example, later on, that benefits Shadow Demon. That benefits his illusions that much more. So I think that's part of the logic as to why we're seeing avoiding set items. Instead going things like the MKB.
Can we talk about the map play here a little bit? Because that Luna up top really put her life on a line in order to try and force this dire side back. And she nearly got stuck on the wrong side of the map. They would have probably lost their base if that happened.
Yeah. It's like they're satisfied with just taking that Rax over here. Daggers being thrown out.
Yeah, the AoE Shadow Poison there. What is, we'll talk about that in a sec.
Blizzy, I think it's going to be all right here. I don't think they really want to go and turn around and use the split, but they actually end up doing it. They're going to go right back in again, using the plasma field. The jump forward, though, coming out with the Sven and the Infest Bomb. It's looking pretty good. Rubik going to get taken down here. The BKB getting popped over onto Magical. He's got his eyes over here on the Quap. Don't have the lockdown for her, and they're still giving chase. They want to try to grab this Earth Spirit. And again, he's trying to just take them out right now. Everybody get in the Uber. Where'd they go, though? Where'd they go?
Top lane.
Exactly. They're in the top lane. They've got a Luna. They're just going to slice through everything, and they're going to slice through Crystallize if he's not careful. Wow. Here, he's going to turn back around, trying to feast off over here onto the Underlord. They're turned back around immediately. Magical running through. He's got the plasma field. They're going to try to clean him up, and this is very, very scary right now. They managed to get the TP out. Going to be able to run away the Luna here, and now it's going to connect though over here onto this Earth Spirit. He's trying his best. Again, tries to go for the roll. Not going to be able to find it. Throws out the kick. Trying to juke himself around here into the woods. This plasma field is just giving us so much, and they're still...
He has no stones anymore.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. It was a valiant effort coming out from Immersion, but...
made the best of a bad situation,
it's a lot of time, you know? That's still things that they weren't able to take.
Yeah.
That's a great call. I actually love that. The Luna gets out. They trade a Rax for a Rax. Even when they're 13k behind. behind, and they forced the entire Na'Vi team back to their side of the map. It's like, it's unfortunate, of course, that Navi's gonna come right back, but they're gonna have all of their heroes up again for a fight, and they at least they do get another fight right now.
Right.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Like, whoever made that call has got to be proud of themselves, because that is some real, like, they're playing with the game on the line.
Yeah.
And they know it. They are desperate enough, as I like to say it.
Well, I love seeing Dark Rift used that way too, aggressively. We really haven't seen Dark Rift used that all much this game in general, but
it's usually used as a ambulance.
Yeah,
Help.
exactly.
Help, get me out of here.
We're out. But Na'Vi, they have the lead still.
Who has the sheep over here? They turn back around. Yeah, they're just going to go right on to Chris. Life going to get knocked back a little bit. He's got his eyes though over on this big old dinosaur. Speeding up this lifesteal. He seems pretty happy about it. They'll turn their attention to the racks. And now, you know, Shadow Demon taking a little bit of a beating, but we'll be able to get saved there by Chu. And there's going to be the heals coming out over again, chasing down this Pop. Pop is going to be just very dead.
Yeah, as pretty as that was, it was just too little too late in the end from Gambit. So Na'Vi, they're going to the major. They're going to DreamLeague Major. Congratulations to them. That's got to feel good. A major that they're familiar with, or an event more so, I should say, that they're familiar with, of course. But I'm sure they're going to be happy to go back to Sweden here, joining VP out of CIS.
Yeah, all right.
Very, very, very impressive victory from Na'Vi as well, because they took their chances at that Roche fight, and they knew that that was the place to turn the game, and they actually did it as well. Like, Gambit made both some very impressive decisions as well as some more questionable ones, which is something that's going to happen when a team like Na'Vi just pushes you to the limit. And I think they did end up holding very well here. This was a lot more the kind of game that I expected when we went into this
You and Breaky both were saying you wanted to see more of a
this is what Gambit
a battle, but a slaughter.
Yes. It was definitely more of a game for them as far as well played. But Na'Vi, the better team today at least, they played well. They deserved this, and obviously, I assume they feel really good about this victory now, as far as many fans as well.
For sure, and like hats off to Blizzy too for just doing such a great recovery, because that was an awful lane. He had 6 CS. So like what minute mark was that? It was awful. It like could not get anything done. It was like watching, you know, just a shampoo commercial of wash, rinse, repeat, because the same thing kept happening. But he got back into the game. He had some good splits. So hats off to him. But yeah, congratulations, Na'Vi. They back? Are they back?
I guess so, yeah.
We're going to throw it to a commercial, though, guys. And we'll be back with some more Dota 2, so stick around.